I always get the question, hey, Mike, how much money do I need to accumulate? How much money do I have in my 401k or my 403b or my IRA? How much money do I need in order to be able to retire?
Right. What's that magic number?
That is the wrong question. That is the wrong question, and it's not a very intelligent question.
Welcome to Retirement Today. I'm your co-host, Zach Holcomb, and alongside me we have Michael Reese. He's a certified financial planner, retirement planning expert, and founder and president of Centennial Advisors, headquartered right here in beautiful Austin, Texas. Mike, how are you this evening? Happy to be back.
Hey, I'm doing great. Again, it's Austin in the summertime, so we're having a little bit of nice warm day every day, right?
It is warm. I actually just got back from a vacation in Vegas. It was 1:15 when I got there. 1:15.
Yeah, I remember going to Las Vegas one time in the summertime, and same thing. It's like you walk outside when it's that hot, and it just hits you like you're walking into an oven or something. It's crazy.
I know.
You stay inside. That's the goal. Stay inside.
100%. Well, they want you to stay inside there anyways, too.
All right. So anyway, today, I'm excited about today's show, though, Zach. We're going to be talking about the three things that you must get right if you want to make work optional.
Right.
Right. So imagine that here you are. Maybe you're driving home as you're listening to this, or maybe you're at work, maybe you're at home, wherever you are. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, man, I want to make work optional within the next couple of years. I would love to retire, or at least have the ability to retire if that's what I choose to do. Well, what do you have to get right? What do you have to do? Like, what's your checklist?
Sure.
What are the three things you have to do? That's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Well, I'm excited to hear that. And this phrase work optional, I feel like this is something that people are starting to say more and more, and not just retirement.
Yeah, that's very true. I think retirement traditionally, there's still, let's not get past this. A lot of people out there, maybe you're one of them, a lot of people, traditional retirement is their goal. Their goal, financially speaking, is to build up their assets to a point where they can walk away from work and then just kind of sit back and enjoy life for the rest of, for whatever time they have left on this earth. And nothing wrong with that. In fact, there's a lot of people, that's the right thing to do.
Yep.
There are a lot of other people, however, they say, I'm not really built to retire. Look, my wife, Becky, her brother, Chris, he retired at the age of, I think he's 60 or 61. Zach, he was retired for, I think, almost 3 months.
Didn't last long at all.
And he's already back to work again.
Sure.
Does he need the money? Does he have to work for the money? The answer is no. He's got plenty of money. He's fine. He has the financial ability to be retired. However, he doesn't have the emotional mindset of being retired. He's not there yet. And in fact, I talked to him. He said, I was home for a while. He goes, I was going crazy. Now, he's an outdoors guy.
Sure.
He likes to go outside. He likes to hike around, and he lives out in Phoenix. He loves to hike in the mountains and drive up to Colorado and go hiking up there. He loves that stuff. And he did that stuff. And his comment to me was, he goes, yeah, it turns out I'm not ready to do that full time.
Right.
I feel like I've got more to contribute in the business world. And it's not just that. It's also, he has the freedom, though, that he could do what's interesting. So he doesn't have to work in a job anymore where he goes to work. It's like, I don't really want to be here.
Right.
Now, as he told me, he goes, where I go now, it's because I'm working on projects that are interesting to me. And yeah, they're paying me, which is great, but I'm also really enjoying working on these projects. So trying to get to the point of, we would call it being work optional, is all about how do you structure your finances in such a way that you're like my brother-in-law, Chris, where you're working not because you have to, you're working because you want to. It's a choice, and it's a choice that is, it increases your sense of self-worth or your satisfaction or what have you. Either way, you're working because you want to, not because you have to.
Right. That sounds like a great mindset. I'm sure a lot of our listeners would love to be in the same position.
Oh, of course. So we're going to talk today about 3 things you have to do.
Yes.
Right? So let's go ahead and let's maybe lay these 3 things out first.
Okay.
And then later in the show, we'll kind of dive into each one of them individually.
Okay.
Right? And by the way, I guess we could say that I personally am somebody like Chris.
Yeah, 100%. You were retired for a little bit.
Yeah, I was retired for 4 months.
Yeah.
And my wife kicked me out of the house and said, all right, you're driving me crazy. Mike, you're driving me crazy. You got to get back to work, man.
Right.
You're killing me. And which, by the way, the timing was good because I was driving myself crazy too.
Too much golf. No.
Well, is it possible to golf too much?
Maybe when you were retired for 4 months, it could have been.
I was golfing every day, and
Yes.
you're right. I got sick of it pretty fast.
Yeah.
So in any event, what are the 3 financial decisions that you have to make so that work can be optional?
Okay.
Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about on tonight's show. Decision number 1, or really maybe strategy number 1, is you need to make sure that your portfolio is generating enough income to replace your paycheck.
Okay.
So this is the first thing, and what's kind of interesting is I always get the question, hey, Mike, how much money do I need to accumulate? How much money do I have to have in my 401k or my 403b or my IRA? How much money do I need in order to be able to retire?
Right. What's that magic number?
What's my number? In fact, I remember several years ago, there was a commercial from ING, which is today called Voya. And they had people walking around, in the city, and like little numbers were above their heads.
Yeah, their magic number.
Yeah, and it was like, what's your number?
Yeah.
And they're talking about how much money do you need to retire? That is the wrong question. That is the wrong question, and it's not a very intelligent question. The right question is, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this a little bit later, but the right question is not how much money do you need to retire. It's how much income do you need your portfolio to generate to retire or to make work optional,
Right.
as we're talking about this evening. So that's decision number 1, or strategy number 1, if you want to call it that. But it's how much money, or question number 1 even, how much money, or how much income rather, do you need? Does your portfolio need to generate so you can make work optional? Okay, there you go. That's number 1. What's number 2? Number 2 is, what are you going to do about the taxes?
It's a big one.
We should probably call this the 3 questions.
Yep.
Right? Question number 2, what are you going to do about the taxes that you're going to be facing in retirement? Now, if you're like a lot of people, you probably have a lot of your retirement savings in your 401k, your 403b, an IRA, something like that. Those are all tax-deferred accounts, which means you've never paid tax on that money. And when you look at your statement, I had someone I was talking to the other day. They were showing me, hey, look at this. We've got roughly $1.3 million in their 401k.
Right.
And we had the conversation about how, well, I know the statement says 1.4 million. Or no, I'm sorry, 1.3 million. Whatever it is, close to that. I know your statement says that, and it's your name on the statement. But we have to recognize that there's another name on that statement that's not listed.
The IRS.
It's called the IRS.
Right.
And so we're going to want to talk about that. What are you going to do about those taxes? How are you going to manage those taxes so that the smallest amount goes to the IRS and the biggest amount goes to you? And on top of that, the thing we need to remember there is this is kind of like a debt that you don't control.
Right.
We're going to talk more about that a little bit later in the show. And then the third question you need to answer, and that is, what are you going to do about all the healthcare costs out there? What are you going to do about the potential catastrophic healthcare costs?
And they're pricey.
It's only getting worse. It's going to be a bigger and bigger issue. What's your plan to handle that? If you want work to be optional, you got to cover those 3 areas. You got to make sure that you've got enough income to replace your paycheck. You've got to make sure that you've got a tax plan. Keep more money in your pocket, less money to the IRS. Number 3, you've got to have a plan for healthcare. Right? Those are your big 3 decisions. So we're going to talk about that on the show tonight. But right now, I want to kind of transition a little bit. So before we go to break, we have something happening. I guess it's tomorrow night.
Yep, starting tomorrow night.
I mean, this is crazy. I can't believe it's coming already.
Right.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to do a live, it's going to be a 2-week class, financial planning class on how to make work optional, right? It's called Retiring Well University, and it's going to be live on Zoom.
Yep.
From 6:30, this is going to be great. I'm giving the information. Zach's looking at me like, right? He's looking at me right now saying, I hope you do this right, Mike.
Yeah, get it all correct.
Yeah, so it's so 6:30 to 8:30. Knowing me, it'll go a little late each night, but it's part 1 is tomorrow night,
Yes.
right? And then Tuesday the 20th. And then part 2 is the following Tuesday night, same time,
Yep.
at 6:30 to 8:30 on the 27th.
Yep.
And this is like a live class on Zoom. I have a lot of fun on this. And I know we already have over 100 people registered for this thing. We're probably going to have a couple hundred people by the time all is said and done. But the point is, it's a free class. What you do is you simply go to a website to register. And the information's there, super easy to register. And it's live Zoom, so you can just kind of sit in the Zoom room with me. And I teach a section, and then I open it up for Q&A. So if you have questions, you can ask them. Super easy. So what's the website? I mean, there's a website they go to, right, Zach?
Oh, yeah. Super simple. So it's going to be 590. That's 590class.com. 590class.com. You just got to enter your basic information. You'll get signed up immediately, and we'll send a confirmation your way with additional instructions.
So you just put in what? Like name, email address, and boom, you're in.
That's it. That's all
This
you need.
starts tomorrow night. You
Yep.
want to make sure to be there. It's free, and it's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. So, all right, I know we got to take a break, right?
Yep.
Okay, so coming up, don't go anywhere. In our next segment, we're going to talk about this concept of income that you need, not necessarily the amount of money that you need. We'll be right back.
Hi, and thanks for checking out Retirement Today. If you like the content we share on our channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay notified about all of our latest content and videos. Be sure to share all of our information with your friends and family as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.